So I wanted to talk about alignment with your soul path purpose and really stepping into the alignment of your voice and what you have to say. I firmly believe that we are all kind of like snowflakes and that we're all different, but our voices are all important. And I feel that all voices need to be heard. And there's a lot of different voices that are saying a lot of different things. You know, the throat chakra, Vishuddha, is the center of purification and expression. And when we purify our voice, then our voice really emerges. And what I mean about the purification process is that, you know, the energy and the voice coming up from the root chakra and up the different chakras, up through the mystic column, and then coming up, you know, from the heart and coming up through the throat. If you notice, the throat is quite narrow. So if we don't speak our truth, it can create a bottleneck, right? And it can then get, you know, stuck. And I'll show you this with the bowl. I learned this actually from Anodea Judith, and I've loved it ever since. So in respect and gratitude to Anodea. So as human beings, we love to express. We love to, you know, our voices resonate and vibrate. So when we have something to say, you know, just as this bowl gives off a vibration and a resonance, you know, we do as well. So when we have something to say, we want to talk about it. We want to talk about our day. You know, we want to resonate. And so if someone says, be quiet, right? Or someone says, I don't care what you have to say. Or you don't know what you're talking about. Can you just be quiet, right? And if that happens over and over again, what happens is that the energy, the resonance gets pushed down. And I have seen this with some of my clients that have come to see me. I actually had one client that just could not feel, like had no feeling of emotions. And she so desperately wanted to be able to feel again. And we were able, you know, I was able to work with her and get, you know, her bottleneck opened up again and the energy flowing again. She could not only feel again, feel her emotions, she could feel passion, she could feel joy. You know, she also had to feel all the other feelings that she had been keeping herself from feeling, like that all came up and out too. But that's really important. You know, I had another client where we just went out into the forest and I had him just yell and scream, you know, and get all the anger out because all that anger needed to come out. And so, you know, this is part of why sometimes we will stop the voice because there's all those other emotions going on too. But I firmly believe, you know, with working with the energetics and the chakras, if you block the voice and, you know, then you're blocking all the other channels from coming out and being expressed. So we want to keep the channel open. We want to keep it activated. We want to be voicing our feelings. You know, I work with my clients in group and one-on-one on how to say a powerful yes and how to say a powerful no and how to say a powerful maybe, because a maybe is gold, especially if you have children. It gives you a little bit of time to, you know, it's like a pause. Well, maybe I'll think about that, you know, and then you can say a powerful no or a powerful yes, you know. And so, you know, my story of my communication has been an interesting journey. I actually recently had a friend say, oh, well, Schamet, you're such an amazing public speaker. You're just a natural. And I was like, no, I'm not a natural. I've had to work really hard to get here, and I still have a long way to go. But, I have been working on my Vishuddha, my throat chakra, and opening that up, as well as all the rest of my chakras for quite some time. And so, things are starting to really resonate and vibrate and open up and come through me as my channel, the energy starts to emerge. I've been aligning to my soul path purpose and what needs to come through me. Now, finding your voice is different for everyone. Some people have come here to share their voice through artwork, beautiful paintings. Some express it through their dance with their body and their movement. I did that for years. I was a dancer and my voice came through my body. The voice can also come through writing. We've got many authors in the summit that have been writing and their voice has been coming out in that way. And some writers are not also speakers, they're writers, and that's what they do. So, the voice is different for everyone. So when I'm talking about the voice here, I'm not just talking about singing. I'm talking about what is your message? What have you come here to say? And I want to support that. I want to activate that in you. I want to bring that out. And this is why I'm sharing this video in the summit, is I feel it's so important. I had actually asked a few people that I have a lot of respect for if they would come and do this training, but no one was available. And then my spirit guides kept saying, that's because you're supposed to do it, Schamet. And I'm like, oh my God, me? Not me. And they're like, nope, you're supposed to do this. So here I am. My story is that when I was a little girl, I loved to sing. I was always singing and dancing, and my sister and I would do little performances and stuff, and we'd like sing and dance, and it was so much fun, and I just loved it so much. Like, I really wanted to be a rock star when I grew up, like, honestly, secretly. And I was rehearsing The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston, and I finally got enough courage to do a performance in front of my family. I think it was at Christmas. I think I would have been about 9 or 10 years old. And they mocked me, and they told me that I couldn't sing, and that, I just don't have a singing voice, that I'm an artist, stick to the art. But that, no, your voice is pretty terrible. They laughed at me, and it really hurt my feelings. And I just went to my bedroom crying. And I never sang in front of another soul again until I met my husband, which was, later on in life. And he is actually the one that got me singing again, because he heard me one day. I think I was in the shower, like secretly singing, thought that he was gone. And he's like, honey, you have a really nice singing voice. And I was like, what? No, I don't. I am a terrible singer. I can't sing. He says, no, you can sing. Why do you think you can't sing? And then I told him, and so he encouraged me to start singing again. And then so I would start kind of, tiptoeing around it a little bit more and a little bit more. And then, when I started working with my chakras, I realized that, wow, my voice is really shut down, like in many ways, though. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to say yes. I didn't know how to say maybe. I didn't know how to really communicate. And, it had been shut down for several years. And I think as women in particular, not to generalize, but as women in particular, we're told to be quiet, get things done, do the cooking, do the cleaning, and, know our place, and so there's all of that I had to work through. And since I have been working with my voice and with my chakras, it's been amazing. It's been incredible. Like, here I am now, speaking to all of you and saying what needs to be said. And, I have a lot to say since my throat chakra opened up. Oh my goodness. I've actually had to kind of calm it down a little bit and try to say less and not use so many words. But boy, I'm unstoppable when it comes to my expression now. And it feels good because the energy is flowing. And, you know, it's important. Think about Martin Luther King. Think about all the amazing people that have used their voice to make change on this planet. You know, the movers and the shakers and the ones that really stir up the cauldron and get things happening are the ones that are not afraid of what other people think, are not afraid of the persecution of being heard for what they believe in. And so if I can inspire you, all of you, to start using your voice and whatever that is. Maybe you want to tone, maybe you want to chant, maybe you want to make baby steps and just start asking for what you need in your life. You know, it can be as little as asking the kids to do the dishes, getting the hubby to do the laundry, and actually voicing, actually, I need a break today. I'm going to go and do this. Can you do this? And, you know, it's incredible. Like your whole world will change. And the more and more you step into the power of your soul path purpose and using your voice, the more that you actually help other people step into their power and make change as well. So, you know, it's important for you to start that process and start that journey as well. So I thought we could do a little bit of activation of using your voice, of using your throat. And so getting in a nice, comfortable seated position. Obviously, if there's other people in the house right now, you know, maybe you want to replay this video at another time because I'm going to get you to make some noise. I did some voice training work with an amazing goddess named Sylvia Rands. And so I want to give her credit in what I'm going to share with you right now. You know, in her workshops, she does amazing voice activation workshops. She was one of the speakers I asked to be part of the summit, but she's busy doing many, many things. She lives in Auckland, New Zealand. And she just gets you to make noises. So that's what I'm going to get you to do, is just make some noises, whatever noise that wants to come out. Just wiggling around in your body a little bit, getting some movement, bringing your hands to your throat area, and start to actually just hum for a minute and feel the vibration in your throat. And just feel that resonance there in your throat. Feel it in the front, the back. And then make whatever noises that you want to make. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, just be really silly here. You know, just make any noise that you want. Move the neck around a little bit, nice and slowly. You mama who good. Moving it around a bit. I'm going to use the bowl to help assist here. And then we're going to do some toning. So we're going to start with an Om. Take a nice big deep breath in and then let it out. Nice cleansing breath. And inhale. And then sigh it out. And just feel the body relax. And allow the jaw to drop a little bit. And inhale. And we'll do 2 more of those. Inhale. more. See if you can take it up. Inhale. And then just make any noise that you want. Beautiful. So that's, that's something you can start with, is starting to tone. That's where my voice really started to emerge, is through toning, and toning through the chakras. I taught many workshops on toning through the chakras. We're not going to get into that today because that's would be a whole other hour. But I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about light language. And some of you may have heard of it. Light language is your spiritual voice that comes through and can emerge. And light language is not for just the chosen. Light language is something everyone can do. And I really want to share that with all of you, because light language has been so healing and activating for me in really clearing out a lot of the energy that was stuck. We want to clear all that stuck energy out, because then it's just healthier for you, for your mind, for your body, for your soul. And yeah, it's so healing. So when I was a Christian at 15 years old, I was baptized in the Holy Spirit, and I started speaking in tongues. I didn't know what it was called at the time. It just happened to me. And then I was told that I had spoken tongues, but I remember it was amazing. It felt so good. My whole body filled with light, and I filled up with so much light that I actually passed out. They had to catch me. And I just felt like part of God, the universe, and everything. Like, it was amazing. And I was like, wow. And that spirit moving through the physical body, and it does feel really good, and it's very healing. So in my opinion, and some people may not agree, because, a lot of people don't agree with each other, but in my opinion and in my experience, light language is the same thing as speaking in tongues. It's just speaking in tongues is religious, and light language is spiritual. But to me, spiritual and religious is the same. So, for me, it's just different words, it's semantics, right? So, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of light language. So feel free to join in with me if you have a drum, or if you have a rattle. A rattle is good too. Let me see if I can find mine. Yeah, rattles are great for moving energy. Yeah, just get that going. Woo! Yes, I am one of those women that dance around a fire, chanting and drumming and rattling. So much joy there. But we're online, and so we're doing it, over Zoom, a little bit different, but you get the idea. If you can do this around, a campfire, or some sort of outdoor festival. Not a lot of that going on at the moment, but we're going to have our own little powwow right here on Zoom. So I've got my shamanic drum here. And, you find what works for you too. Like the harp might be your instrument. Harps are beautiful. Or a violin, whatever instrument, because we are all instruments. We're all instruments for our voice. And then these are instruments to assist our voice that wants to come through. So we're just going to do a little bit of drumming here. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out with the sound, but we're going to go for it. So again, this is my light language that comes through. It sounds a little bit Native American because I am part Native American. However, this is not Native American language. This is my own personal light language. Okay, so I want you to activate your own voice, your own light language, and what wants to come through you, even if it's just moaning or sighing or humming, like whatever starts to feel good, so that energy starts to move through your body and clear out the throat chakra, okay? Breathing into your heart, breathing into your belly. And just feeling into what is inside of you. What is sitting inside of you that is awaiting to emerge, waiting to be awakened, activated, feeling into your heart, into your belly, breathing into that emotion, and then bringing your hands right up to your throat, paying attention to and tuning into your resonance, your voice, and what wants to be expressed, what wants to come through. And just gently opening your eyes, bringing your hands together, bringing some energy into your hands, placing that on your throat, on your heart. It comes bit by bit. You don't have to do it all at once. Now really honor your journey, your process with it. I remember when I did some of my singing lessons, I actually just cried through them. It's like cried like a baby. So all this emotion was inside. And then I was really angry. I had grief. I had unresolved anger. I had all this stuff that had to be cleared out before my voice could emerge. And that's part of the journey. And that's part of the process. I would like to read a poem for you as well to finish. Now this poem, I found it online. It's from an Earth Journey publication. There's no name, just Earth Journey publication. This poem is called Don't Be Afraid. Very important right now. Don't be afraid to don't be afraid to be daring enough to seek new solutions. To be daring to stand out in a crowd in order to make a meaningful contribution. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to rant and rave, to feel the burning rage of passion, for passion is life. Don't be afraid to shake or even break the chains that bind you. Don't be afraid to raise your voice. It is the loud voices that are heard that create the change that we need. Don't be afraid to be different rather than to be indifferent. Don't be afraid to seek a new horizon, to have a vision and envision new beginnings. Don't be afraid to be filled and fueled by a burning desire. Don't be afraid to find your voice, claim your voice, activate and align to your voice. And don't be afraid to use your voice, as it may be your voice that creates a new paradigm, a new earth, and a new beginning for us all. Don't be afraid to become more. I love that. I love that so much. So honor your voice and what you have within you. And honor all voices, as all voices are important and all voices need to be heard. Abundant blessings to you, to your family, and to your community. I hope you've enjoyed this voice activation. And, you know, get out there and practice a little bit. Do some toning, do some humming, do a little bit of singing in the shower, turn the music up loud in the car. You know, you might see me in my car singing to Katy Perry, roaring to Katy Perry, and really exercise that voice. Yeah. And see if you can take some steps towards asking for what you need and communicating with someone about how much you love them. It's important. You never know when our last day is. And I know what you have to say matters. So take a moment and breathe into that. You matter, and your voice is important. All the best. Namaste.